Today we're going to be going over 5 things that should never have been removed from GTA 5 Online. First up is going to be betting in races. Before, we used to be able to bet $10,000 on ourselves so then we can win the race and other people as well. And they reduced it to $1,000 because people were taking advantage of the $10,000 betting cap and pretty much just did races with one other person, let them win, and then they'd get a nice like $9,000 from their bet winnings, which is a pretty decent amount of money. Now, honestly, I wish they never changed that. That was one of the best features just because then we actually have a purpose for betting. You bet $1,000 and you win, you're only going to get another maybe like, I think it's 200 or like 600 bucks, depending on how many other people bet in the lobby. But most of the time, you're not going to make that much money and it's not going to be noticeable at all. Even if you were to win every single race, bet $1,000 on yourself every single time, and there was a full lobby every single game, you'd still end up walking away with maybe an extra 15, 20k after like a lot of races and a lot of time, which just isn't worth it. There is a way that I think betting can be resolved in GTA 5 Online, and it's pretty simple. So pretty much what I mean by this is going to be like this. We have, let's say, 5 people in a racing lobby. Now, you can go ahead and place a bet on yourself to come in either first, second, third, fourth, or fifth, because there's 5 people. When you place that bet, you will have different odds. If you place a bet on, let's say, for you to come in last place, then your odds would be evens. If you were to come in last place at the end of the race, you would pretty much just get an even amount back. Like how in horse racing, you can go evens, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, and on like that. So you would pretty much get the least amount of money. But if you bet on yourself to come in first place, then your odds are 5 to 1. So you bet $1,000 and you come in first place, then you would get $5,000 back, which is a pretty good amount of money. Now, if obviously you had a full lobby, and you bet on yourself to come in first place and there's 16 people, you would be betting on 16 to 1 odds. And then by the time the race is over, and if you end up coming in first, you would walk away with an extra $16,000 in your bank account. The reason I think that's so useful is because even if you do come in first place in some of these stunt races, you'll only end up making 20, maybe 30k. So getting another $15,000 for coming in first is pretty awesome. And then of course there's the better option where you could bet up to 10k again and do exactly what I just said. And let's say you bet on yourself to come in first out of 16 people, you get 16 to 1 odds, and you end up coming in first, you'd win $160,000. But of course, if you come in second, you lose that $10,000 because you don't know what place you're going to come in. So then when you actually think about it, betting in stunt races and just any races for that matter would actually be a lot better. And there's also betting in practically every other mission in GTA 5, I believe. Obviously not the actual missions like capture jobs, death matches, and you're just betting on your team to win pretty much. And I think that would be a really, really useful thing to have in the game. Just another incentive for people to do more races, because if you try to find a stunt race in this game, it is so damn hard to find, and it would really make the game a lot more fun. I know you guys enjoy playing video games, but it can be very hard to grind on every single game, especially if you don't have a lot of extra time. If you need some help on any of the games that you play, check out Digazani in the description, and they will supply you with everything you need in any of those games and get 10% off by using code Frolickz at checkout. The second feature I wish they would bring back into this game is going to be the mechanic delivering your car. Back in the day, and this was not for a long time, they changed it very, very quick, but the mechanic actually used to deliver your car to you in person. Like, he'd drive up next to you with your car, and then you could just hop out and walk away, and then you can hop inside your car. Now, back then, there used to be a bunch of bugs with the mechanic, apparently. I never actually got to experience these bugs, but a lot of people said sometimes the mechanic would just drive by with your car and then just dip, and then you'd never get your car back again, and then you'd have to go back to your garage, call it in, or something like that. But then your personal vehicle is not empty, so you can't really replace it, so you'd have to destroy the vehicle, and things like that. So there was a bunch of bugs, but obviously that can be fixed very easily because this was in like 2013, 2014, and it's 2020 now, so you would think it'd be a little bit better. And I just think it was a really cool feature. I don't really know why it was removed, to be completely honest. They could have just fixed those really easy bugs, and then every time we call our car in, the mechanic would deliver it to us in person, and he'd just hop out of the vehicle, and there we go. I thought it was a really cool feature, and I hope they bring it back. Next up is going to be peyote plants. I was walking around in GTA 5 just a few days ago, and I said, you know what, I want to become a dog. So I went to one of the locations, and you know what? There was no plant there. And I was pretty pissed off. I was like, they just put these back in the game, and now they're gone again. I don't know why Rockstar does this. They put them in the game, then they take them out. They put them back in, then they take them out. Why? it just makes the game more fun. We can become an animal in GTA Online, because obviously we don't even have any animals in this game except for birds that we can just snipe, but we don't actually have any other animals. And speaking of the peyote plants, why don't we get access to all of the animals in online? What really is going to happen if we become a shark or a blue whale in online compared to becoming a little dog? What issues is going to be brought up? Actually, think about it here. If you become a shark or a blue whale, you're just going to be swimming around in the ocean. If you come out of the water, you die and you go back out of the hallucination. You become a dog, you just run around and kill people. So, like, what's the issue? Why can't we not become a shark or a blue whale? And there's, of course, other animals that we weren't able to become, like cows and stuff like that. Why not just add all of them into online? Why only add a certain amount? And the thing is, they added the worst ones. Like, nobody wants to become a little dog or a freaking chicken. We want to become a shark. We want to become like these freaking mountain lions. I think there was a mountain lion in online. I spent like 3 hours looking for it. I can never get the mountain lion. But yeah, there is a ton of other peyote plants and different animals, and we did not get access to them in online. And why, Rockstar? Why do you keep removing them? Please explain. I get they're for festive events, but like, come on, just let us have some fun in the game for once. Just keep them in the game for maybe a year, just so we can run around and have a little fun as some animals. This next one, I could see why it was removed, and it's actually not one thing, it's a bunch of things, and it's going to be removing harmless glitches. Obviously, every game developer is against glitches. If they see a glitch in their game, they want to fix it. But certain glitches are actually really fun that everybody enjoys that does not cause any harm to the game or the community whatsoever. Obviously, a money glitch where you could duplicate cars and make money off of it, that they should fix. But if it's just a simple wall breach going inside of a cool interior, like for instance, let's say going inside the Bahama Mama's nightclub, before there used to be a glitch where you could literally just stand at the door, have somebody ram you with a fire truck, and you'd be warped right through the door, and you could do this with all your friends and go dance around in the nightclub. And there was plenty of other ones, like for instance, spawning the aircraft carrier in free mode, or spawning North Yankton in free mode, bringing the jumbo jet into online. Things like that. They don't cause any harm to the game, they just make the game a lot more fun. And they get patched almost instantaneously. It's the worst thing ever because they don't cause any harm to the game, and it just doesn't really make too much sense. There used to be this little tiny glitch that allowed you to drive around inside your garage. You bring a specific truck inside, and then you'd be able to drive around inside your garage and drive on your cars and all this kind of stuff. It was so fun to do, but then they patched it. There are so many other small, tiny little cool glitches in this game that were patched that really did not need to be patched. They were just so much more fun, and it made the game a lot more fun. Most people play in free mode, and there's only a couple things you can really do in free mode. Just drive around with your friends or kill people, to be honest. Obviously now you can make money in free mode, but at least before, we'd be able to go and explore and do all this kind of crazy stuff, go and explore all these cool secret locations and do things that we didn't think we were able to do. And every time you did one of those little glitches, you knew how much fun they were. Every time I did one, I had a huge smile on my face. I was having a great time because it's something different and something that wasn't promoted that we found on our own, which I think was pretty awesome. And then right when we find it, it gets taken away, which does not really make too much sense. Obviously, they're not going to bring them back, but you know what? I really wish they would. And finally, the last thing that was removed from GTA 5 that everybody loved was modded missions. Guys, if you never got the chance to play a modded mission, you really missed out. Because back then, let's just take this into a time period, for example. First off, we had the ability to bring certain vehicles into online. Then that got patched. So then we added them to modded missions, and those were available for a very long time. We used to be able to go into modded missions. We used to be able to fly cargo planes. We could fly a blimp when it wasn't available, the Space Stalker, all kinds of these like crazy vehicles that were in story mode. And honestly, some of them weren't even in story mode that we could access in these modded missions. And they were really, really fun to actually play. We were able to get stun guns as well and rail guns. There was a few glitches to bring them into free mode, which were patched, but then we still got access to the modded missions. But then Rockstar deleted every vehicle from the modded missions, guys. If you open up one of your modded missions and you had a cargo plane, it will be replaced with an SUV. Man, that was probably the worst thing ever. I loaded into a modded mission so hyped to go hop inside that cargo plane with a few of my friends, tell them to drive inside the back with their cars so we could drive outside the back and just have a blast. But then we go into it, and everything is gone. everything is gone. And they pretty much just ruined modded missions for everybody. What harm did modded missions cause? Like, they were literally just missions with vehicles that were awesome, that everybody loved. Why were they taken out? It does not make any sense. Like, they did not cause any harm to anybody. It's not like we were able to actually bring the vehicles into free mode afterwards. We were just in the mission having a good time. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If there's any other things that were removed from the game that you guys absolutely loved, be sure to comment them down below. I know I just made a video about this a few days ago, like the armored trucks and the special cargo drops and stuff like that, but these are actual features and things that were just literally removed from the game for absolutely no reason, and obviously some of the features I was talking about should have been added to the game, like the peyote plant and maybe a better betting system for races and things like that. But honestly, I think these things are all necessities and they make the game a lot more fun. Let me know what you guys think of that down below in the comments section. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.